You know, I really like tea. What's up, everyone? If you watch my channel for any length of time, you know that I love Doom mods. I've only really scratched the surface, and I have a huge list of a bunch more I want to play and cover on the channel. But, out of all the ones I've played so far, here is my list of my top 5 favorite. Starting with number 5, we have Doom Unloved. This has to be by far one of the scariest Doom mods that I have ever played. It has some genuinely creepy sections that build a bunch of suspense, and it has kind of a cool little mini horror game story added onto it as well. I played it on ultraviolence, and it took me about 5 hours to get through all of it. And I was on edge pretty much the whole time. You heard all these weird noises in the background, and you'd be just about ready to pick up a key or something important, and you know that the moment you do, this huge torrent of enemies is gonna come out of nowhere and start attacking you. That happened so many times, and sometimes it was genuinely difficult to get through it all. I had to like go back and restart that whole section again. Like it was crazy, but it was a really good time. You can definitely see some of the inspiration from Silent Hill in this game. In fact, one of the main soundtracks that you heard used in it continuously is from Silent Hill. Now, the sad thing about this mod is there was actually originally going to be a sequel called Unloved 2, but it never happened. There was an early build that was a beta where you could only go so far before it just kind of fizzled out and there was nothing left really to do, and I downloaded it and played it for a couple of hours. But, you know, that was a long time ago. It was never finished, probably never will be, which is a shame. Instead, we got a Steam game that's like a standalone build that was inspired by the Doom mod, also called Unloved, and it kind of plays like a Walmart brand Left 4 Dead, so yeah, kind of a bummer. At number 4, we have Action Doom. Now, this was not the first Doom mod I played, but it was one of the first, and it was so very fun. It's this cool kind of level design. It plays a lot like Metal Slug, where you're going through, you're taking shots at enemies, there's the little bit of a story, there's like little mini games where you have to jump from different vehicles without falling, you have to avoid being shot. It was so cool, I had a blast with it. It wasn't long, it only really took a couple hours to get through everything, but it was super, super fun the whole time. There's also a sequel to this called Action Doom 2 Urban Brawl, which is the more popular one between the two. I didn't like it the first time I played it. Like, it was fun, but I don't know. There's just several things about it that I just had problems with and whatnot. I think I really just started on too high of a difficulty level and was expecting something very different than what I got, because the next time I went back and played it and tried it again, and I really enjoyed it the second time through. It plays much differently than the first, like I said. This one is more of like an action beat-em-up type game where you have fights, you're playing the role of a police officer who's trying to find his daughter who was kidnapped. It's got much more of a story to it. You've got different choices that affect the ending. There's several different endings to get. And there were some cool bonus levels and stuff thrown in, as well as a Christmas DLC. Like, who doesn't love that, right? But yeah, this one was fun. I really did enjoy it, and there's probably a good 10-15 hours worth of content in this one. Definitely an excellent experience for both of these two mods. For number 3, we have the Hell on Earth Starter Pack. This is a 32-level megawad that was created by Sergeant Mark IV, the same guy who made Brutal Doom, and this was made to be played with Brutal Doom. Now here's the thing, the first time I played this, I had never played Brutal Doom before, and I'm fairly confident that I hadn't played any community-created levels before other than just some older ones from the 90s. This is my first real taste of modern Doom modding goodness, and it was probably the best introduction I could have possibly had, because I had all the cool new stuff of Brutal Doom, you know, better lighting, new weapons, new play style, new gunplay action, all that cool stuff, with the really well-designed levels of the Hell on Earth Starter Pack. It was so fun, it was very engaging gameplay, constant action, some cool little puzzle elements, and, you know, at least the minimal of a story, which is kind of somewhat important to me. And yeah, it was just an awesome experience. I would recommend it to pretty much everyone, whether they've done mods with Doom or whether they haven't. I think this is probably one of the best experiences you can get out there for just fun, raw, brutal Doom gameplay. Now, I say that with a little caveat. I did have like one issue with this mod. It was actually kind of funny. This is an older mod. It's from 2015. It was made with an older version of Brutal Doom in mind, version 20B. I played it with the newest version, which is version 21 Gold, and it did fine with it up until the final boss. What do you suppose happened? Well, it never spawned in, and I couldn't fight it and finish the game. I was able to add the boss in with like a console command, you know, insert boss, whatever, and he got in there and I could shoot at him, but he really couldn't shoot back, so the final amazing ending of the game ended up kind of being anticlimactic. That being said, the author, Sergeant Mark IV, is working on a remake of this with some new gameplay elements in it, some like reworked, overhauled levels, maybe some new ones as well. That's a pretty exciting project that I have been keeping my eye on. However, I played Hell on Earth Starter Pack over a year ago and Extermination Day was in beta. And it still is, and nobody really knows when it's gonna come out. So hopefully it will be sometime soon within the next couple of years, but you know, nobody really knows for sure. All there kind of is right now is just these unfinished beta versions that got released to Patreon supporters. And you know, there's different versions of that floating around all over the internet. But I'm gonna keep my eye out on this, and hopefully we'll be able to do a series on that on this channel very soon. Anyway, moving on to number 2, we have Doom the Golden Souls. Now, if you don't know what Doom the Golden Souls is, imagine Super Mario 64 and Doom had a baby, and then that baby had a pet, and that's Golden Souls. It's pretty awesome. It combines the fun action-packed content of Doom with the fun platforming content of Mario. Plenty of cool puzzles, plenty of neat collectibles to find, plenty of little shops to upgrade your weapons and buy armor and ammo and all kinds of cool stuff like that in it. And I love the theme of all this, because there's like little sections of the map that have their own theme. You got desert levels, you got forest levels, you got tropical levels, you got some underwater levels, you got some haunted house levels. Pretty fun little variety here. All right, and like even though the first game is good, the second game, oh, it gets so much better. There's like cutscenes and people you can talk to, hours and hours worth of gameplay to explore. And I mean, you got a trumpet, okay? You got a trumpet for a rocket launcher. How can you not love that? I don't even know what you're doing if you haven't played this mod yet. Go and download it right now, play it, you won't be disappointed. All right, we've come to the number 1, my very favorite Doom mod that I have ever played. All right, longtime viewers of the channel know what it is. All right, I don't have to keep you guessing. Everybody else, you're probably quaking in your chairs wanting to know, right? It is Wolfenstein Blade of Agony. This isn't really even a Doom mod, really. It's basically a big enough thing to be its own game. The only reason I'm listing it here is because it's technically made with Doom 2 as a base and using that base engine. But Wolfenstein Blade of Agony very well might as be its own little FPS game. It's a fan game that's an homage to the Wolfenstein series, and it's incredible. It has an amazing story of fighting against people in World War II. You get to go and do all these little missions for World War II in Europe. You get to like sneak into like these Nazi camps and disrupt stuff. You get to do these missions where you go and like collect things and break people out of prison. It was crazy. You feel really attached to the characters. You get emotionally involved in the story. It had a hard impact on me. I'm just saying, it was like one of those mods where you play it and you know, you feel like you're actually there and actually doing stuff. It's immersive in probably the best way possible. Not only that, but it lasts a long time. You're gonna get tons and tons of content out of this. I mean, each level took like an hour minimum, maybe 2 hours. I think by the time we were done, it was like a 30 to 40 hour campaign, which was crazy. And that was all just the original full release, which was the 3.0 version. Now they came out with an update, which was the 3.1 version, and this is called the Achievements Edition, all right? And your boy Cass is a completionist. So obviously at some point when I get a little breathing room and I don't have thousands of mods that I gotta play, I'm gonna go back and earn all the achievements in this, and it's gonna be the best time ever. Anyway, guys, that's my list of the top 5 favorite Doom mods that I've played so far. I'm sure as I play some more, my opinion may change, or I might just have like top 5 more favorite Doom mods to add, you know? So I'm sure this video is going to end up with a sequel at some point down the road as we play and experience more mods right here on Kess Gaming. So if you want to be a part of that journey, be sure and subscribe. Check out some of the live streams we got going on. If you enjoyed this video and want to see another one, be sure and leave a like. If you hated it, you could leave a dislike, I guess, even though those apparently don't do anything anymore. Till next time, I've been your host, Kess Gaming. I thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you all at the top.
No, I'm not saying